Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time here, which it probably is because it's my first video. This is Nana Chats, let's talk. This is the end of my first year of law school. I'm going into the summer with an internship. People ask me questions and now I'm going to answer them for you. Ready? Let's go. How competitive are the other students? It depends on what school you go to. Some schools, the students are super duper competitive to the point where they'll rip pages like out of the case law books in the library so other students can't read them. My school, the students are not as competitive, but it's still a very competitive environment. We're all competing for a rank, okay? Our GPAs at the end of the semester put us in a certain rank out of however many people are in our one class. That ranking gives you or takes away your scholarships. Your GPA gives you paid internships, like highly paid internships. When I say highly paid, I mean highly paid. Highly paid internships and great opportunities. So it's going to be a competitive environment no matter where, but some schools are just way more competitive than others. Do you get to present real cases in court? I know in my school there's this program called the Courtroom Advocates Program, and law students get to go to court and handle domestic violence cases and present those cases in front of judges and like actually do the work. So I don't know what other programs there are out there that are like that, but I know that that is a very cool and important program. There's also like moot court and mock trial and stuff like that. I know in moot court some of the people you compete in front of are actual judges and stuff, so it's really great experience and very interesting. What undergrad major would be most useful? When I was going to law school, I googled like the top 10 majors to have when you're going into law school, right? And the top two were like journalism and psychology, so I did psychology. I think that any major that's very heavy in reading, research, and writing would be very good and very important to go into law school. Hello people, so I don't want to go on rambling like a foolish goat about my opinions, even though what I said was valid, because I have heard professors say that majors heavy in reading, writing, and research are helpful in law school. I'm going to tell you what the internet says. The top 10 best pre-law majors are political science, psychology, criminal justice, English, history, economics, philosophy, arts and humanities, and sociology. And there's also other here. And the ABA, which is the American Bar Association website, says that they do not require anyone to have a specific major to get into law school. So you do not have to have a pre-law major to get into law school, but any major that is heavy in reading, writing, and research would be helpful. Yeah. What skills are necessary? Discipline. You need to be able to articulate your, like, speak well, articulate the answer that you're trying to give. You need to be very analytical, be able to analyze properly. You need to be able to think on your feet. Now, this is not true all the time because there are some lawyers who are transactional and they work more in the background rather than in court, but you still need to be able to think on your feet when you're in law school because you will get cold called on. Being professional. Make sure you are professional. Some classes, the professors actually make you wear a suit to class. So, yeah. Hello, I'm back. So, with what I just said, also add organizational skills, time management skills, writing skills, and editing skills. Those are all very important when in law school. How do you develop good study habits and self-discipline? Create a schedule that works for you and actually abide by it. My first semester I didn't do as great as I wanted to, so my second semester I decided to, ramp it up. So like I would wake up at 4 or 5, get to school. I wouldn't wake up at 5. I had to leave the house at like 5:30. I wake up at like 4, get to school at like 6 or 7, and 7 the latest most days, and like study, read before class, do all that stuff, outline, brief my cases, all that before class, and then I would be in school till like 8 p.m. some days. Most days 8 p.m. was the latest I would leave, just to get everything that I needed to get done for the rest of the next day, the next 2 days, so that I wasn't rushing. Like, make a schedule, something that works well for you, and just start doing it, and like before you know it, it'll be really hard to not do it. I would be going home earlier than 8 and I would be very like sad and scared. I'm like, I'm missing something, I'm supposed to be doing something, me going home, I'm gonna fail a class, I don't understand. Find out what works for you. Some people study with study groups all the time, some people study alone all the time, some people are a mixture of both. but they'll give you different techniques when you go to school. How is a law degree useful outside of being an attorney? Well, a law degree is useful because when people see JD next to your name, they're gonna be like, oh, you went to law school. Like, it's an upper hand on your resume. Also, you have a lot of discipline, reading a lot, writing a lot, doing a lot of research, working really, really hard, thinking on your feet, networking, beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, all of these different things that are actually really important. There are people who get JDs and don't become attorneys. Some jobs that people go into when they have their JD, other than being an attorney, are investigator, law firm administrator, law professor, journalist, and entrepreneur, politician, news analyst. I know somebody who works in the Social Security office and has a JD. You can literally go into anything you want after you have a JD. Why don't most people pass their LSAT on the first go? Usually people take the LSAT more than once because they want to get a scholarship, or they want to get into a school that has a really high like LSAT grade requirement or whatever. I took a class with Kaplan before my LSAT and it was really good, and I knew what grade I wanted to get, and I got like I think a point above that grade for the LSAT. I know some people are probably wondering how I predicted my grade for the LSAT, but there are set sections in the LSAT and certain types of questions, and your LSAT Prep teacher will teach you how to answer those questions. So I suggest you take LSAT Prep. I took a lot of practice tests, therefore I knew what grade I was averaging at. And you can take a lot of practice tests, study very, very often for the LSAT, study ahead of time, choose a good testing site. I kind of had to hike to my class for testing, so that was annoying. And you can also look up the rules for the LSAT as a whole, and if your particular LSAT site has specific rules. For the bar, people usually don't pass on their first try because the bar is very, very hard. How are you able to seek out law-related internships? When you get to law school, they're going to tell you to make sure you get an internship. Your 1L summer, your 2L summer. In my school, we have the spring interview program, we have PILC. So all of these things where you basically send out your resume and whatever else the people are asking for, recommendation letters, whatever, to like a whole bunch of employers all over New York. And they can pick you for an interview. That's super helpful when you're looking for an internship over the summer. Also, there's a website where they constantly update with law firms and just courthouses and places all over that are looking to hire law students, so that's really helpful. I'm sure the schools will definitely help with getting law-related internships for the summer because they say it's very important that you work. The thing about internships though, for 1Ls, a lot of interns 1L year don't get paid. I'm not getting paid for my internship this summer, but I don't mind because I'm so excited to work there. Jesus will provide the rest. Jesus Christ! What was it like networking amongst law professionals? If there's people around that are my age or younger, like I can easily be like, hey, what do you do, where you go, like, oh, you want to go to this club, you want to do this, what do you do? But the thing that I cannot do is meet up with like lawyers and judges and professors. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. It's so scary because you just don't want to say the wrong thing. You shouldn't be too nervous about it because then you'll hide who you really are, and that's what they really want to get to know, you. So what I did to help myself go more because I was so nervous is I forced myself to go by like RSVPing for events and like telling people I was gonna go so that like I would have to go, because then if you ask me how it was and I didn't go, I'm just gonna be like, Miss Jackson. And then I'm gonna feel bad about myself. So that helped me a lot. Also, when I went, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give one business card out. All I have to do is give out one business card. That's fine, because then you go, you talk to one person, you give out one business card, and if you feel comfortable, you stay, you talk to more people. If you don't, then you can leave because you met your goal. It was very nerve-wracking at first, but it's actually cool as it goes along. Here are some tips and tricks that I learned over the year that helped make my networking experiences more beneficial and efficient. First, I would say have a plan. Know how many people you're going to talk to, how many business cards you want to collect, how many business cards you want to give out, what kind of questions you're going to ask, and what your answers will be to those questions. This will help you to be more prepared. Do your research. If you know what kind of event you're going to, then do your research on that area of law. And if you know who will be at that event, then research those people so that you can have easy talking points while you are there and you will look more knowledgeable. Third, brush up on your elevator pitch. I'm sure there are videos all over about that, but if you would like for me to make one, then I could do that for you as well. Fourth, I would say go with somebody if you're nervous, but if you do go with somebody, do not stay with that person all night, because then that would be you just going to an event with a friend rather than networking. You must separate from that person. You both have to network on your own and then eventually come back to each other at some point during the event. This will give you more confidence because you know you're not alone and you won't be standing by yourself eating all of the cheese from the refreshment table. Okay, fifth, I would say write down 1 or 2 facts. If somebody gives you their business card, you can write down 1 or 2 facts or 1 or 2 things that you have in common with them so that you can remember them and bring that fact up later on in conversation. That would really impress the other person and help them to remember you as well. So let's say you met somebody who works in employment law and like snowboarding. Maybe in another conversation you can say, oh, have you been snowboarding since the last time we spoke? It's very helpful. Lastly, I would say keep in touch afterward. This is very important, especially if you want to maintain that connection with that person. I met somebody through a mock interview who was impressed with my interviewing skills and wanted to help me with more intense interviews. I emailed her about 2 days after we met and let her know that it was very nice to meet her. I appreciated her nice comments and I would like to take her up on her offer. So all of these things are very important and helpful when networking. How did you prepare for law school? I really didn't prepare for law school that much. I just watched YouTube videos about people who were in law school and learned about like being cold called, and like I heard a lot of horror stories and stuff, so that wasn't really super helpful, but I didn't really prepare too much. Here I am again, babbling like a foolish goat about my opinion. Don't be like me though, like actually prepare for law school, and here are some things that you can do to prepare for law school. Develop your skills as a writer. We know why that's important. Prepare for your LSAT ahead of time so that you won't be stressed out, like way in advance. Take a class and everything. Join a pre-law group. I didn't join one because I don't think my school had one, but I heard that they're pretty beneficial with networking and like getting to know what law school will be like. Build up on your reading stamina because there is a lot of reading in law school and you would like to be prepared for that. Read before day 1 of class because professors actually want you to do that. Like, they're not joking, and you might get cold called and embarrassed on your first day. Also, you don't want to wait for things to pile up before you start reading. And also, I would say join your 1L classes Facebook group, follow the Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Figure out if you want to do moot court, mock trial, DRS, any other type of group or school club, because the deadlines come up quickly and you kind of want to jump into that as well as jumping into everything else. Right now, I am the Attorney General of the Black Law Students Association, and that's like the first thing that I went for when I got to law school was their information table. So all of those things should help you prepare for law school. What's something that benefited you in the long run that you didn't realize would? Myself. Being myself benefited me a lot. When you get to law school, especially being a minority woman, you get to law school and you see all these people who are not minorities. So imposter syndrome takes over and you're like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I'm not smart enough. All these people are really smart. All these people are this type of way. All these people have this amount of money. All these people, you know, all of these different things. You kind of like want to hide yourself. After a while, I learned that let me just like pay attention to myself, mind my business, be myself, work hard on my stuff because none of them are going to get my degree for me. So I did all of that, and after a while I was asking professors for recommendation letters and stuff, and they were like, of course. And then they were writing all these really beautiful things in my recommendation letters, like I have maturity beyond my years. I didn't even know that about myself, but because I allowed myself to be myself and to work hard and to prove that I deserve to be there too, they saw it in me. So I would say being myself really, really benefited me in the long run. Describe your first year in 3 words. Difficult, annoying, and lovely. It was difficult because law school is hard and it's not going to be easy, point blank period, no matter how you do it. I don't know, there's some people who are really smart out there, so I guess. Annoying because like this year has been a lot, especially it being my first year in law school. And so it's just been a lot to get used to. This whole COVID thing happened, so now I'm going to law school on Zoom. Some of the people are and then lovely because I met really great people in law school. I've gone through so many experiences. It's a confidence booster to be able to say that I've done something that I've wanted to do since I was 11. I've always wanted to be an attorney. I'm not an attorney yet, but I'm in law school, so I'm like getting there. And so that's like a confidence boost. I feel accomplished, you know, like that I even got in. I feel really accomplished. It helped me to realize like what's really important. My family, my Daphne's, my church friends, just all my people who have really been here for me throughout the whole year, because I would have died if I was just in a law school vacuum. So yeah, that's why it's been lovely. How did you go about choosing what kind of law you wanted to practice? I didn't really choose what type of law I want to practice yet, but that's okay because you don't have to know in your 1L year. That's what internships are for. I think the internships just really show you what you really want to do, but it's no rush. What was applying for law school itself like? Applying for law school was not that difficult for me because I knew what school I wanted to go to, and because I knew what school I wanted to go to, I just looked up what the average LSAT score was to get into that school. Also, my Kaplan professor for my LSAT prep told the class that the person who got a full scholarship in the last 1L class for that law school got this certain grade on the LSAT. So I was like, bet, I'm finna get that grade. So I studied as much as I could and practiced and got that grade on the LSAT and then applied to that school, and yeah, and then I got in. So it wasn't that bad. There are other stuff though that could be pretty stressful, like Harvard and all these places want long essays and all this type of stuff. No, my school was like, here, just send us a little personal statement, and I was like, bet. That's why I like you. It might be stressful for other people who want to apply to a lot of different places, and especially the schools that require a lot more in their application. But there's a site that you basically put in all your information and it creates one type of generic application for you for all of the different law schools, and it sends out your information. It's just the extra stuff that you would have to do on your own. So the site that I'm talking about is Elsac, the Law School Admissions Council. You basically create a profile on there, fill out all the information that they need, and they send it out as an application to the different schools that you click that you want to apply to. It also has lists of the schools, their median GPAs, median LSAT scores, median, I guess their bar passage rates, and their ranks, because the schools are ranked, as well as the different deadlines. And they have the CAS, which is the Credential Assembly Service, which collects all your transcripts and letters of recommendation and different essays that you would have to write so that you can easily apply to the different schools. They say law school is very stressful. How did you take care of your mental well-being? I learned when I needed to take a break. Period. And I learned that it was okay to take a break, because I would go so hard. It was too much. Knowing what's good for me and that I can take a break and I'm not gonna fail the whole course because I took a break. Do you know the Constitution and all that kind of stuff? I took Con Law 1 this semester, and we needed to know like pretty well the Constitution, the amendments, all that great stuff. I do not have it memorized. What was something I wished somebody would have told me to expect before I went to law school? That not everybody is as mature as you. I assumed that because we all got into law school and we're all going to law school that we're all pretty mature people, and that was like not the case. Wait, somebody just coughed outside. Coronavirus! There are just a lot of very immature people in law school. Even people that are like way older than you, you would assume and expect for them to be more mature, more professional and stuff like that, but they're not. It's actually crazy. So that's the end of this video, guys. I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. As of right now, I'll be posting on Mondays or Wednesdays or both. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, please click the notification bell, please comment. If you know somebody that wants to go to law school, please share this video. If you know somebody that would be interested in this video because they just want to know what law school's like even though they don't want to go there, send them this video. Tell me what kind of videos you guys would like for me to make. Just stay tuned. I appreciate you all so much. This is Nana Chats. We're here to grow together. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.